Guys, happy 2025 and welcome to the last tank I was ever expecting to get out to Blitz, the Auf E-100. Let's get straight into it. Armor-wise, it's an E-100 hull. The upper plate is going to get bounces, but that's it. You cannot bait the upper plate or lower plate around a corner like this because of this thing that protrudes out. HE resistance-wise, it's a lot more HE resistant than the 4005. Unlike the 4005, you actually have to aim. It's not really hard to HE if you know where you're aiming, but some people will screw it up. Obviously, it's super easy to HE from the side or anything like that. Module-wise, the fuel tank's really bad if you do get hit, but it doesn't happen that often because everyone shoots you in the turret. And the crew members in other modules don't die that often, surprisingly enough, despite being a tank that gets HE'd a lot now. Moving on to the stats and on why I think this tank is extremely broken if you know what you're doing. We're going to be comparing it to the 4005 obviously with both guns. Now, before we get into this, I'm just going to say the big gun's better than small gun. It just straight up is. The difference is here. The small gun has better shell types, AP and APCR, which is better than AP and heat, and the small gun also has better accuracy. The thing is, the big gun has much more HE damage, which you will see, and 150 millimeter module damage, which is a game changer. Anyways, 4005 has 400 more DBM, 7-second fast reload. Dumping time is 0.5 seconds slower on the 4005. Pen, the 4005 has a better pen than both of the Waffen's guns, as you can see, standard and premium. HE damage and pen. As I said, the big gun has 2600 HE, and obviously the most pen, while the others only get 2000. And as I also say, it has the same large damage as the small gun, but the big gun has 203. This is 150 millimeter module damage, which is absolutely insane for having 3 shells. Shell velocity, better than the big gun, worse than small gun. Accuracy wise, same dispersion as the small gun, but worse aiming time. Better dispersion and aiming time than the big gun. Now on movement dispersion, it's worse on the 45 on both guns for the Waffen, except for turreting where the 45 is better. Gun depression, the Waffen has 6 degrees over the front and 8 degrees over the sides. The 45 is 10 degrees all around. However, the 45 does have the worst gun elevation in the entire game, if I'm not mistaken. One other thing is the 45's turret only goes 90-90, the Waffen goes 135-135. Let's see. Mobility wise, basically same top speed. Waffen has better reverse speed, which is not that surprising after considering how much they nuked the 4005's reverse speed in 10.3. The Waffen's an E-100 hull, so yeah, it's a lot heavier. Mobility wise, in terms of like average speed, the 45 is faster, who would have guessed? But not by that much. Now the 45 does get super speed boost, you can't forget that. And then, you know, survivability wise, the Waffen is 100 more hit points, and it has a lot worse camera rating. It's a lot worse. Yeah, they're both absolutely gargantuan. They're both really hard to hide. I'd say that the Waffen is still harder to hide. Yeah, obviously. Now, one thing about the Waffen is because it's rear-turreted and because it goes 135, ideally, you want to just hide the turret behind a wall or piece for cover. If I can get my notes. Apparently I can't. Anyways, you want to drive around a wall or a big piece of cover just like this and then pull back. That's the best way to not get bled. Yeah, that's basically it. Actually, no, one more thing. What makes this tank, in my opinion, extremely broken, if you know what you're doing, is this reticle calibration. This is a consumable that 45 used to have, but they removed it from it because it was too broken, obviously, but they still decided to give it to the Waffen for some reason. The reticle calibration allows you to really aim in for those weak spots, go for tracks, go for the HGs, or just, full HP clips one from the other side of the map, which does happen. Yeah, you can get that 1700 out really consistently because of the reticle calibration, and the 4U5 just cannot do that. So even though on paper the 4U5 is more accurate than the Waffen with the big gun, which is the gun you're supposed to be running, the Waffen does hit its shots a lot more faster. The Waffen has the longest reload in the game, 28 seconds. The reload is so long to the point where most of the time, by the time you've gotten your clip back, your fucking consumables have already cooled down. They both have shell reload boost. So yeah, this alone is what makes the tank just so broken. Well, this is gonna be the first game. I have not played the Waffen yet in pub, so I've only played it in 10v10 ratings. This is a ratings game because I want to get the hang of the tank as much as I can before I set my stats in it. I'm gonna play 100 games in it and go for 4,000 average, but basically this tank is all about positioning. You have to realize you have the most clip potential in the game. You only need to get out 2 clips and you're already at 3,400 damage. It's like, if you know how to position in this tank, you're living. Now, keep in mind, you may have good mobility and, the ability to rotate, but you have insanely bad camo values and you are absolutely gargantuan. You will get spotted. And one other thing about this tank is, when you do get spotted, everyone on the enemy team hops on your dick. Everyone. I mean everyone. It's like a celebrity walking into like a crack house. Everyone just jumps on you, dude. This tank, no other tank draws more attention from the enemy team than the Waffen that's spotted. Like, I cannot stress this enough. You need to know that before you play this tank. Now, please also don't camp in it. Look what I'm doing right now. I'm flanking behind enemy. I've only just now been spotted, and look what's about to happen. You can already see me load the HG. I'm like, okay, K91, I'm not interested. I'm not gonna waste my shell. Oh, that's only free. Let me aim for the HG weak spot. 1,300 damage. Oh, what's that? A full HP tier 10 tank destroyer. 1 and 2. I just did 3,000 damage in 10 seconds. A full HP tier 10 TD out of the match, and another full HP tier 10 TD out of the match, just because of me alone. And now I just reload my clip. I drive up. As you can see me get spotted. I'm gonna aim for the V4 here. The V4 is the most fragile armor rack tier 10. Unfortunately, I don't get it. 1,000 damage right there. And then a nice shot in the Type 71. And boom, 4,500 damage. And the game's over. That's it. That's it. And this is the Waffen. Before you say this is like 1 in 1,000 chance or this will never happen, it's really not that hard. Like, I've been getting HG clips out in this tank pretty consistently. It's like, so far, every like 3 games in this tank, I always full HP clip something. Like, you could full HP clip tier 10 lights, you could full HP clip tier 9 mediums, tier 9 lights, tier 9 tank shores. You can even full HP clip some tier 10 tank shores. Like, yeah. Grow 15, full HP, 1A3, 1300. Like, people, including Drill, say this tank isn't broken. I strongly disagree. Replay number 2. Now, the game you just saw obviously isn't going to happen every time. Some games you'll just get YOLO'd by 2 people, or other games will just be over way too quickly, and then when you're positioning, you won't get any damage out. Now, in this game, they don't have any medium tanks, they don't have any light tanks, which means I'm driving my tank to a spot where, like, they basically gave this matchmaking gave me this part of the map for free. So I'm driving over here. It's risky, but I know that if I do get over here, I'm gonna get a lot of damage. Oh look, another grill. There was a grill. There's the module damage and HE damage I'm talking about the big gun. That was a full HP tier 10, and now it's gone in 2 seconds. Apparently this tank isn't broken, guys. It's not broken. What do you mean? It's balanced. Moving on, I'm relocating, and as you can see, the 114 is already looking at me. I never even shot. I'm nowhere near the 114. I never shot him, and he's already looking at me. This is what I'm talking about. Everyone stares at you in this tank. Oh, and that's the 122.54, the most TPM in the game. Laurel. Nice angling. And there he goes. Another full HP. TD out of the game. Just like that. And now I just reload. Oh yeah, by the way, look at my consumables. They're already back. Yeah. This tank, it's all about positioning. If you know, like, just don't camp. You are way too big. You don't have the camera rating. You'll get caught out. You'll die. Don't refrain from going to medium sides for the most part. On most maps, medium side's too open for you to do anything. Just go to urban areas. Go to areas with like the big buildings, big cover. Just wait around the corner, wait for the right moment, and that's it. I'm not talking. Don't play aggressive in this tank. Also, yeah, another 4500, just like that. By the way, I wouldn't really say play aggressive in this tank, but also don't camp in it, because you bring so much damage to the table in such a short amount of time that you can just flip a game just like that. But yeah, before you say, oh, I cherry picked or whatever, I got these replays really fast. I have tens and like a lot of other replays where I just full HP clip tier 10s and tier 9s. It's just it's insane. These are just like these two were just like the most, like, the highest, the most diabolical basically. I was going to make an high quality edit of all the full HP clips, but then I realized the Unreal Engine is gonna come out, and I know that if I make that edit, Unreal Engine will be out, and which is gonna be all for nothing, because I just rather wait for UE5 to come out, and then it'll just be much higher quality, and it will look much better. But yeah, if you guys want me to post the full HP clips or just the other replays where this tank just does broken things, then I can. I have a lot of them, but yeah, like I said, that's the WTF E-100. It's one of its own. Now, should you get it, the event's already over, but should you get it, is it better than the 4005? Yes, it is. If it comes back and it's not locked behind an insane paywall like it was, or like it just was, then please go for it. Like, it is definitely a fine addition to your garage. I would say that it is the hardest tank to play in tier 10, and that if you don't know what you're doing, this is the worst tank in tier 10. Keep that in mind. This tank, even though it may seem broken, which it is, it's only broken if you really know what you're doing. 99% of the time, you won't run into this tank, and even if you do, 99% of the time, they won't be a good enough player for this tank to be a threat to your team. So, is the tank itself game breaking? Technically, yes, but is it actually game breaking in practice? No. The community is too retarded to make it work. But if you do, well, you just saw what it can do.